Hello, everyone. You're watching All About the W, your weekly deep dive into the WSL stat stories and standout performances. Let's break it all down. My name is Kai, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, Ash. So, Ash and I are here to do an episode of All About the Build Up, where we speak about select fixtures from the WSL weekend. And after that, we'll follow that up with a little bit of All About the Bragging Rights, which is a little competition that Ash and I have going on, doing some predictions. So Ash, let's start with the big fixture that we're going to be reviewing for the weekend, which is Chelsea versus Liverpool. Obviously, the reverse fixture ended in a draw. I think that was the beginning of the dip in form that we saw for Chelsea, uh, where I think it was a 1-1 draw in Merseyside. So, what have you made of Liverpool recently?
You mean the Liverpool led by manager of the month, Gareth Taylor?
Yes, manager of the month, Gareth Taylor.
Yeah, after winning one game, as Sky likes to put it.
Yeah,
Uh, so I actually, even before Liverpool's previous performance, in which was it 4-1? I think it was like 4-1 or yes, 4-1 against Villa. Even before that, like there were already signs that Liverpool have started to show signs of improvement. I
yeah.
think I would go as far back as maybe the the LCL game. Go as far as back as the LCL game. It was a draw, but you could see that Liverpool were getting slightly better in attack. They'd been having trouble scoring goals, but their sort of like solidity and their organization looked better. I think
Mhm.
just since the end of the break, they've been good, but like especially since their LCL game, then I think they got some confidence also with that 6-0 against London Bees. And then from there on, it's been, even though they lost 3-1 to United, I think that like it's been an upward trend. Like even that United game, it was like closer than people think it was.
Yeah, it was two
Um,
late goals from United, if I remember correctly, right?
yeah. So I just feel like, and of course it helps that Villa were like on a downswing, downturn, whatever you'd call it. And they've had a little bit of luck maybe with the Spurs goals at the end. The 2-0 that Enderby scored at the end. Maybe slightly fortunate, but fortune always favors the brave. And Liverpool have
Ash
definitely been great.
refusing to acknowledge that was Spurs being Spursy.
No. Spurs, of course, that as well. No, I think Liverpool deserve to win all these games. I'm just like, uh, I, I think that they've been very, very organized. I also feel like they found their first 11 after transfers have come in, because like Martha Thomas is doing really well. Mia Enderby is scoring lots of goals. Bergstrom, either when she starts or when she comes off the bench, looks pretty sharp. And Holland is such, like I've been saying this for, like, I cannot say this enough. Holland is such a linchpin in that attack. Like create everything creative is coming out of Holland.
Yeah.
And like their defense has been really like sorted, especially with Clark and Fisk at the back. I feel like they've been doing an exceptional job as centre backs. So I do feel like Liverpool have really like sorted their shit out. Like credit to Gareth Dale, credit where it's due to Gareth, manager of the month, Gareth Taylor. Um, he, he Liverpool were at the bottom of the table. There was a lot of criticism. People were like, why did Liverpool spend all the Olivia Smith money on Gareth Taylor?" But looking at the form now and looking at the way the team is playing, maybe there's something to be said for spending all that money on a good, or not a, I don't know if a good manager is the word, on a manager
Manager.
who has a lot of experience in the WSL and at the top tier,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and has managed to like organize very well with a very small team. And I think that's one of Gareth Taylor's strengths as well, which is the flip side of him in City, not playing the same 11, playing the same players, not rotating, is that when you are given less options and you only have like 11, 12, 13 players, you
Yeah.
actually do really well with just 13 players,
Yeah, and by October they were like dropping like flies. No, there are so many players who are out with
Yeah,
long-term injuries as well. But yeah, I think credit to Gareth Taylor. I mean, for me, the thing that stands out about Liverpool and the thing that really scares me from a Chelsea perspective is Liverpool's press. I think they
yeah,
press extremely well, and Silag, who's come in, is has just been tearing it up, in my opinion, in
yeah,
terms of leading that press. And I mean, see, the thing is, players like Silag as well as Mia Enderby are really, really fast players. And
yeah,
well, you can imagine how much that scares me. But yeah, I think Liverpool have it's you can like it's been a marked shift since
yeah.
December. I know like that 9-1 loss was pretty bad, but that was a cup game and everybody was injured in that game for Liverpool. And I feel like the fact that Grace Fisk has come back has kind of uh, breathed new life into the squad in some ways, especially when it comes to defending. I am excited for this game. Like I'm genuinely excited to see what Liverpool have to offer because right now the way they're playing, like they don't look like they are a ninth or tenth in the table sort of a team. Right now
Yeah.
they're playing like a sixth on the table sort of a team. So I'm really excited to see how this unfolds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and I wanted to ask you this guy, like player for player, Chelsea is in a better place than Liverpool, right? Just in terms of quad quality. But if you were to look at the performance in the weekend, where Chelsea played Spurs, I would arguably, as a unit, Chelsea, like even though Chelsea won, credit to Chelsea for winning, as a unit, like the difference between Chelsea and Liverpool is that Liverpool seems to know what their best 11 is almost, whereas I don't think anyone knows that for Chelsea. And as a unit, you don't look cohesive. You have very talented players who will score you goals when you need it and win the game. But I don't know if that translates to looking organized as a football team.
Yeah, I think that's precisely my concern. So a few things that I want to highlight. And listen, I hate to start with like what is going to sound like an excuse, but I just want to get it out of the way so that I don't forget about it. So after the Spurs game, Millie Bright is also out now. So our only two fit center backs are Naomi Gurma and Verla Burman. And maybe who knows, Siaka Nuskin might.
I feel like this is a plus. I see no reason to
I don't
complain.
disagree. Yeah, I know. I like to some extent you're just like, oh, Sonia is not gonna play. Like we won't have to play Bombas or Bingo right now. Everybody knows that they're gonna start, but there is a real possibility. And knowing Sonia, I don't put this past her. We might see Siaka Nuskin like playing at centre back because she has played there and she's pretty decent at centre back. Because she is a Swiss Army knife at the end of the day. But yeah, and Vika captain is fit as well. So I'm really I listen. But on paper, our only fit centre backs are Burman as well as Gurma. So there's a bit of injury issues. Just want to get that out of the way. But the thing that I wanted to focus on more is how terribly vulnerable Chelsea looked when Spurs were on the counter in that game. And this is like not a new issue; it's just been there for a while now with Chelsea. And I mean, in that Spurs game, Chelsea got away with like so much in the first half.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Mm. Chelsea got away with so much in that first half, and I feel like Liverpool. I don't necessarily think their forward line is more clinical, but I feel like their forward line is faster.
Yeah.
Like for example, for most of the transitions that we saw when Chelsea were playing Spurs, it sort of
There
came
was
through
no
Olivia
chess as
Holt.
or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it mostly came through Olivia Holt sort of holding up the ball and then like sort of carrying it forward. And then there was a couple of passes that she uh, put into the box, which didn't really come off, or she sent it to the wide areas, or of course she took a shot that one time which hit the bar. But yeah, I think that's gonna be really bad. And this is something I've been concerned about for a while, which is like, sure, like our backline is vulnerable. Sure, Millie Bright is not fast. Gurma is also not known necessarily for her pace. But like my question is, why is your backline being left so vulnerable? Why is it that the midfield is not why is it that the midfield um not able to do their jobs properly, which is not just winning the ball back but also like retaining the ball. Both of these things I feel like it's been really poor from Chelsea, and
Yeah,
that's why every time, like, it's easy to just blame Millie Bright. It's easy to say, oh,
yeah,
she doesn't have the legs anymore and all that. But ultimately, if your midfield is going to turn over the ball cheaply, it's not on the defenders. Like, Mia Enderby is going to beat anybody.
yeah.
Silag is rapid. She's going to beat anybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I think the one, so I have two things about that. I do agree that Liverpool's are like a really big threat because like you said, they're faster in attack than Spurs are on the transition, and B, because when they're defending, which will be most of the game, they are better in defense than
yeah,
Spurs are as well.
yeah,
So in that sense, like yes, Liverpool are a threat, but one thing I think we should like remember is that O'Sullivan, Nagano, and Capox, especially O'Sullivan and Capox, uh, are good midfielders, but like the team is kind of being carried by the flank players and the defenders a little
right.
bit. Like the midfield has not yet come to the party
Hmm.
as such. And I feel like that's something Chelsea can, especially with Walsh back and all, can
True.
definitely take advantage of.
Yeah, I think that's precisely my point. I feel like like Nagano is a decent player. She's had good games against Chelsea. O'Sullivan is an experienced international. Like, she's an incredibly good player. Capox is decent. We've seen her in the WSL enough to know that. So that's precisely my point. Like, you can't let these players have good days. You have
Yeah.
to be aggressive in winning the ball back. You have to be smart enough to retain the ball. And also, like, you said this, Ash, during the watch along, that Spurs just look like a better coach team. And I mean, this is something that came out of the Athletic article, which I thought was very interesting. Obviously, we're discussing all of this when the house is burning down at Chelsea, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is, the article also said that, um, like, Sonia expects players to self coach, like, themselves a little bit on the pitch, which is fair enough. Like, you want your players to like express themselves, etc. But at the same time, like, if the players feel like they're not receiving enough theoretical information, then there is a gap somewhere. And for me, I see that the most in terms of player positioning when Chelsea are playing, because when somebody looks up to make a pass, they realize the player is not there. So those kinds of issues, let's see if those get rectified to some extent. So I felt like against Spurs, right? Once the first goal went in, I thought Chelsea looked very impressive. Like,
Yeah.
even in the second half, I thought, even in terms of something Chelsea have not been able to do well, which is press, I thought Chelsea's press was also really good. That, like, almost took the wind out of Spurs a little bit, even after that second goal, right? Like, just the fact that Chelsea kept pressing, like, I felt like it was emotionally damaging for Spurs
Yeah.
and couldn't get back into the game. So, I mean, those are some of the key things for me from a Chelsea standpoint. Ash, do you have anything else to add with the preview?
Um, what do you think? Three at the back, four at the back?
Four. There is no three. There is no center backs. Four at the back four. I think she's done with hopefully she's done with the three at the back.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Prediction. Tell me your Chelsea versus Liverpool prediction.
I still feel like Chelsea have good enough players, and like you are playing at home. I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. I'm gonna go 4-1 Chelsea.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fighting
It's
words.
gonna be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with us. We're excellent, and then they'll come back and lose to United in the next game. That's what'll happen. Anyway, but since we already started, we will jump right into all about the bragging rights. So, as of the Champions League fixtures, which is the round of 16 slash like playoffs, Ash is at 71 points and I am at 70 points. Ash has
Finally ahead. Finally.
overtaken
Oh
me.
God, been so long.
Yeah. This is making me a bit nervous, but we move. Okay, so you've already predicted a 2-1 win for Chelsea, and I have predicted a 4-1 win for Chelsea. Let's look at Man City versus Leicester. By the way, guys, I know that the Man City versus Leicester game is literally tonight. We are recording it probably about, I don't know, 7 hours before the kickoff. So we are a bit late in putting this episode out,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Man
Um,
City versus Leicester.
sorry.
Yeah, we apologize.
um, I'm gonna go. You know what? I saw Leicester in the previous week. I'm gonna go 4-1 Man City.
Hmm.
4 yeah, 4-1 Man City.
4-1 Man City. I'm gonna
And also because
go.
Man City have all that anger that they have to release after the Arsenal game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do wonder if they have anger to release. I'm curious to see. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go 3-1 Man City. Um, have to side with City though. Sorry,
Yeah.
Leicester. Everton versus West Ham. I feel like this is gonna be a good one.
Oh
Like as
yeah,
in
lots
the
of
sense
fun.
of, like
Yeah,
hopefully a
yeah,
bit
yeah.
chaotic.
You know what? I'm gonna go West Ham on this one. I'm
Uh,
gonna go 2-0 West Ham.
okay, interesting. This is going to
I
happen.
saw how Everton won that 1-0. Okay. I have no faith.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Courtney Brosnan's show, as always. But yeah, I'm curious. Like, obviously, this is at Goodison Park, and now they've won like a couple of no, one match at Goodison Park. I'm gonna go the draw. I'm gonna go 1-1.
I think that's fair. I think that's fairer than my prediction.
I don't know. You say that, and then you'll get like 3 points. Anyway, United versus London City Lionesses.
Oh, the way LCL are playing 3-1 United.
I'm gonna predict an upset in this one. Um,
Mm.
Yeah, they've played midweek. Uh, they won midweek. A pretty a thumping win actually against
Yeah.
like
They're
a
looking
three.
like a really good attacking side now, United, with that depth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But LCL have a point, but it's at United. It's at United. LCL are not going to win at United. I'm gonna go 2-1 United. No, 2-0 United. Fuck that. I'm sorry, guys. I was gonna predict an upset, and suddenly I realized it's happening at Lee. Okay, Villa versus Spurs. Ash,
Oh wow. I'm
thoughts?
so worried. Like I am worried about this game is because Villa, I just have no clue what Villa is going to turn up. Like, will the real Aston Villa please stand up? Like,
Yeah,
it's just like, sometimes Natalia Arroyo like runs rings around you strategically, and sometimes it like crumbles so pathetically it's not even funny.
yeah,
I just feel like maybe we have slightly better depth than them with their injuries, etc. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs.
yeah. I think I'm also gonna side with Spurs on this one. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go 3-1 Spurs because I just can't see Villa winning. They've just been struggling way too much. Yeah, I feel like we've pretty much predicted the
No, but
same
the thing is,
outcome.
Villa have been. It's not like they play badly for say like 60 minutes. So like there is a potential there where they score early and they can keep their lead. So it's not like they're horrible or like they're just crumbling or whatever. It's just the last 20-30 minutes of like
Yeah.
late goals.
Yeah, there's that collapse that happens with Villa. It's been happening for
Yeah.
quite some time now. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, Spurs can take advantage of that with the bench
Yeah.
strength that they have.
Yeah,
Brighton
Hamano is
versus
also gonna come
Oh
back in.
yeah, true, true. Brighton versus Arsenal.
Arsenal. Oh my God, have you seen Brighton play recently?
Terrible, dreadful.
I'm gonna say 3-1. 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. I have to bite the bullet. I support Brighton, so I'm gonna predict a Brighton win.
Ooh,
Or a draw, maybe. Now fuck that. I'll predict a Brighton win. 2-1
yeah.
Brighton. A
Putting
late
your money where your mouth
mouth is.
is.
Yeah, a late winner from Kiko Seike is how we're gonna go. It's a
Yeah.
terrible prediction, but that's fine. Okay, so that wraps up all about the bragging rights as well as this episode. Forgot to mention this earlier, but if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. If you are a regular, do not forget to hit that like button, comment below, tell us your predictions for this weekend, and everybody, do not forget to change your fantasy teams.
Yes.
Ash,
Oh,
that
yes.
includes you because
Yeah.
uh,
I'm doing it
it's
now.
it's a Friday night kickoff. Do not forget that. All right. We'll catch you on Tuesday with our review episode for the WSL weekend. Bye bye.